Welcome back, everyone! This is Jareditis bringing you Feed the Beast 1.6. Today we are starting on episode 90. We are at 90. We are getting up in the numbers. Awesome. Today we are going to be finishing up the mob farm. The ultimate mob farm, the final and ultimate piece of this puzzle. So today we are going to be doing this specifically. Let's see, how do I want to start with this? Basically, in between episodes, I moved the light switch over to the side. I changed the lights from the inverted green lamps to just normal everyday glowstone, specifically because the lamps just weren't working. The redstone signal that activated the drawbridges was causing those lamps to not function correctly, but we now have it taken care of. We still have the glass functioning, and we got the lights, and of course we also have, here it is up here, the cursed earth, which is really awesome. But we will go ahead and leave that stuff off for the, no, not the glass, the lights. Yeah, open the glass real quick. Don't worry, they won't kill you horribly. It's not like you lost your great armor in the great fall of episode 87. We'll call that, that's what we're going to do. We're going to call it the great fall of 87. Alright, so I've decided that we're opening up this side. The last piece of this puzzle, for now anyway, is going to involve removing this stuff right here and actually moving it and adding to it. We're going to be changing this just a little bit. I was originally going to add this as a section of the main room, but instead we're going to add it as a subsection, and that should be fine. We'll just have to run a little bit of this down and around this way, because, no, I didn't want to do that. Well, that wasn't right either. Or that. I want to run this around here because we are going to stop throwing my stuff into the void. Because I want to make another subsection over here for something else. And what that is, we'll get to here in just a second. We're going to meld some Thaumcraft in with this as well. So we're going to need some bricks. We're going to need another auto spawner. Gosh, we're going to need a bunch of things, actually. And to not be in bat form would be nice, but that's okay. We're going to... Why is my AE system funny? Probably because I updated the pack again. That's okay. We are now on 1.0.23, I think. It's the newest version as of this date. But we'll get into stuff for that later. For now, we're going to need another one of the auto spawners. I have extra auto spawners. I know I do. Don't I? Well, you know what? Let's go grab some bricks real quick, because I know I'm going to need those at least. Because I know I put those up. Grab some of these, and as long as we're here, we'll go ahead and make the things that we're going to need from Thaumcraft. So let's go upstairs to the Thaumcraft area and get started on this. And I hate being in bat form, but I swear I'm going to jump off the cliff again, and then I'll be like, wow, why wasn't I in bat form? What is this? This is nothing. Okay, so what we want to make is going to be the corporeal attractor. Is the arcane or kinetic attractor brings in things, items and such. The corporeal attractor brings in entities specifically. Okay, for this we just need earth shard, air shard, greatwood logs, some copper, no big deal, but we need a wand focus of telekinesis. Okay, and then also we're going to need to do that, but we'll get into that here in just a minute. Okay, so the wand focus of telekinesis is going to be in fusion crafting. We should have all the stuff available. We need iron, gold, an air shard, nether quartz, and an ender pearl. So that shouldn't be any big deal to do. Let's change. No. Yes. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to need, what did I say we were going to need again? Dadgummit. It was 4 nether quartz, an air shard, gold, iron, and an ender pearl. Let's see. Iron, gold, ender pearl. I believe it was an air shard. And quartz. I don't think I've ever used a wand focus of telekinesis. Not exactly sure what it does. I'd have to read up on it. I'm thinking it does something with remote movement of items, being, from the general definition of telekinesis. But, I've been wrong before. What happened to the... There it is. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, nether quartz, gold, iron, and an air shard. 1, 2, 3. Did I not drop 4 items here? 4. Okay, let's double check this recipe real quick because I'm bad to do things wrong. 4 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, and 1 of those. Good. So that should be all we need other than a wand to start up this reaction. Why can I never find the stuff I need? Oh, it's up there charging. Yoink. Alright, so we should have enough of this stuff. Let's see, we're pulling Modus, pulling Air, pulling Perdito. We have plenty of that, and Cognito. Cognito is the brain one. I see we have enough of the other stuff, but I don't see Cognito. These are things you should check before you start the reaction, just, for a reference point. Oh, there it is. I found it! I found it. How did I find it? Well, they were kind of, doing things already. Alright, good. So that's going to make us the wand folks of telekinesis. Anytime now. Boom. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn right around and take this awesome wand focus that we just made and use it in another recipe because we don't really want to keep it. We need 2 great wood logs, the telekinesis, 2 copper, earth, and air. Alright, so earth, air, copper, great wood logs. Alrighty, so we need some copper, 2 copper. We're going to need a air shard, a earth shard, the telekinesis thing, and was that it? Oh yeah, the great wood logs. 2 great wood logs. Excellent. No big deal there. Oh, I hate being slow. Okay, you go in there. Then we got great wood logs with this, that, and those. And we now have the corporeal attractor. Okay, also from this we're going to need the soul mold. Well, actually, you know what? We won't need the soul mold. I technically could make the soul mold just for point of reference. If you want to specifically attract or repel specific things, you can make this soul mold here. It's not that big a thing to make. I'm only going to be attracting one thing. I was originally going to be attracting out of the group of things, but I won't be having to do that. Now, if you see here, it says that it's going to be able to access it. You can change it to focus on specific mobs. You can use adult or child, if you're using it to sort out your pig farm or your sheep farm or whatever. But since we aren't going to go there with this, we don't actually need that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make a new Tinker's Construct cleaver. It doesn't really matter what it's made of because I'm not going to do anything special with it. Actually, you know what? It does matter what it's made of. Let's make it of something very specific and fun. Let's make the entire cleaver... Well, no, we shouldn't make the whole cleaver. I was going to make the entire cleaver out of paper. That would be hilarious. But no, we shouldn't do that. We are going to go with Manulin. I wonder if I can remelt Let's see if this will work. I don't remember if this can be remelted. Yes, it can. Good. So that can go ahead and melt up. That will be enough to make the pieces that we need. We'll make the blade out of manulin, and we'll make the rest out of paper, so we can have more modifiers. Should I bother, or should I just go ahead and make it strong? I can't decide. That's a good question. Oh, I could have just melted cobalt and ardite. I have plenty of that. Oh, whatever. Hey, a villager trophy. Awesome. I don't know, but we're not going to stand here and think about it. We're going to get the rest of this stuff put together. Okay, dang it, I let that distract me, and now I can't think. Alright, we want to make a... Oh, no, not in that one. Let's do it down here. A autonomous activator. And there we go. Go ahead and throw one of these together. As a matter of fact, let's throw... Nah, we don't really need that many, but we'll do it anyway. We'll bring some extras with us. So we want the autonomous activators. We got the brick stones. We got the corporeal attractor. We're going to need some more stuff that's probably already over there. A couple more of the wireless signal buses. But you know what? Just in case I don't have them, let's go ahead and make them. I'm going to need at least 2. We'll make 3 just to be safe. Three and 3, excellent. So let's see, that should be fine for that. We do need another auto spawner. I didn't think, I should have another one over there, but no, I know I had extras. I know I had extras. There's no question as to whether I had extras. So let's real quick make, well actually we don't need this in our inventory. Actually, we shouldn't need a lot of this stuff, but that's okay. I don't want to toss away too much of it because eventually I'll wind up going, well, I really did need that. I know, I've seen me do it. Alright, we got the manulin at the bottom. Let's pour us a manulin blade. And I have a table of blood. I don't understand that, but that's okay. Alright, so that's excellent. We're going to make the blade like that. And we're going to want to add some modifiers. So let's grab a nether star. Nether. Grab 1 nether star. We're going to need a diamond. Actually, technically speaking, we're going to need 10 diamonds. And then we're going to need a whole bunch of gold. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pop down here and do the gold, because we're going to just go ahead and make this big. Go big or go home, right? So we're going to need 9 of these. I'm sorry, 8 of these. No, it's 9. We're going to need 9. And then we should be able to go ahead and make the rest of this. So let's just grab some things from here. We've got the manulin blade. We're going to need 2 tough tool rods. That's a normal tool rod. Another normal tool rod. Durability really doesn't matter on this in this case. So let's go ahead and put this together. I'll be right back once I finish getting this together, because this is going to take a few extra minutes, and we'll get to this because otherwise we won't be able to fit it all in this episode. So give me just a minute and we'll get to it. And we're back. I've got everything together now, and decided I was going to go ahead and make 2 blades. We have, let me switch this over to this real quick. Going to go with all paper, leaving it with 6 hearts and, or 6 modifiers and 6 hearts of attack damage. We're going to call this the head roller, because that's what they're going to be. We're going to go ahead and make 2 of them, because that's what we want to do. So now we're going to go ahead and do the extra modifiers for each one. That's the most advanced one. Then we'll go with the most basic one, and I forgot to get 1 extra diamond for this part. I knew I'd forget something. At least it was only a single diamond. Alright, we'll toss this in here, and that one? Yes, that one. Alright, and then we will put the last part in for the nether stars to give it the last modifier. And then we're going to go ahead and use up the modifiers by giving it beheading. It comes with a normal setting of beheading, but we're going to go ahead and give it some extra beheading. We should be able to stop at 6. I think 6 pretty much guarantees that you get a head from everything that you hit. So we should be able to go ahead and change that out and then put this in and go ahead and bring it to beheading 6 as well. So this is actually adding beheading to something that has beheading naturally. So we're also going to go ahead and add a leadstone energy cell to it to give it an energy factor. And that way we can charge it instead of it having normal durability, because the durability was really horrible when it came to that. So we don't have to worry about that now. So the other thing we want to do is we want to give it looting. Okay, so and I forgot to do this part, apologies, but we'll do it real quick. Take some lapis and make some lapis blocks. That should be plenty. We should be able to go ahead and pop this in here real quick. If we put them in both slots, we can do this really fast. So this should add lots of lapis to it and give it the looting effect, which is going to be awesome. And that's still going to leave us with 2 modifiers remaining, which we will probably go ahead and add sharpness to them to make them more effective as weapons themselves. So we'll go ahead and get this part done. And it's going to take longer than I thought it would, because we're also going to have to fill the modifiers with the other 2 modifiers with sharpness. So give me just a second to do all this, because this is boring otherwise, and I'll be right back to show you the finished product. Alright, now we're back. That should be the last cut for this episode, at least I hope so. And we wound up with, I was wrong, it was beheading 5 I stopped at, and well, hopefully beheading 5 will be enough. I thought 6 guaranteed it, but I'm not certain now. So now we have beheading 5, luck, sharpness, and the sharpness brought the attack up to 11 hearts. So that should make it pretty much a one-hit kill to the enemies that I'm going to be smacking with it. So let's go on out of here. And actually, you know what? I'm curious about one thing. I was told that you could actually add enchantments to these cleavers. And they were wrong. Yep, okay. Just a little side note. Wanted to make sure that was incorrect. Alright, so back here we go. So first thing I'm going to do when we get back here is change back into a bat, because I am not jumping off another cliff, dadgummit. It's just not going to happen. Alright, so let me make sure. Do we have what I thought I had in here? Yes, there's the auto spawner. Good. And, yeah, well, we did have some more of the wireless stuff, but that's okay too. We got plenty of that and plenty of this. Alright, good. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fly out here, and we're going to extend this pathway just a little bit to make this as I want it. Should be 3 wide, should be fine. Actually, we'll go with 4 so I can make a wall here so I don't jump off into nothingness, because reasons. Alright, so now we should be able to not put extra stuff we don't want. Let's see, there we go. And then we should be able to extend this out just a little bit. And I should be using my builder's wand for this. That was what I have it for. It'll make this a lot quicker and easier. Did I not just... Okay. Whatever, moving on. Alright, so now let's put this one more wide just because. Alright, so now we should be able to go, and in the center of the room, or what I perceive as center from right now, because I feel like saying this is center, even though it probably won't be, we'll go right there. Right there we're going to put the auto spawner. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build up right there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be right. We build up right here because this is where the glass is going to be, so we can see inside here, because we want to be able to see inside here but not necessarily have what's in here get out. So we'll go ahead and do this, and then we will go ahead and do this because inevitably I will walk off a cliff. I swear, since I walked off that cliff and died in the void, I'm like cliff paranoid. It's actually quite funny. So we will go ahead, I'll build this up and make it look all pretty after the fact later because we don't have that much time in this episode left. And God, that looks off center. But you can't center it because this would need to be a 3 wide opening, and I just didn't have the space for that. I might come back and redesign that just because of my OCD. I'm not really OCD, but I'm close enough to OCD for it to bother me. And oh, I could fix it right there so easily. Okay, make that the center. Okay, we're going to move the auto spawner. We're going to jump out into nothingness for just a second. The auto spawner will go right here because this is what will be the center later. And we'll get to reasoning for that in a minute. All right, so from there is going to be that. Then in this wall right here, we're going to put this. And we will put the piece right there. That'll be no problem. Good. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the autonomous activator here. And it's going to be facing this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these in here. We're going to tell this thing to use the first slot only, and we're going to fill the other slots with stone. Okay, so now if I were to step in front of this, oh, it's on right click. Left click, thank you. Ow. Ow. All right, good. So that's working. So that should be exactly as we want it to be. And then what we need to do is the corporeal attractor will be activated by a redstone signal, which is going to be from the levers that I didn't bring. But I should have some in here. I better have some in here. I have plenty in here. Alright, and real quick, because I forgot to grab it out of here already, we're going to take the Wither Skeleton spawner, because that's what we're going to be playing with here. You may have guessed that already, but, you know, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm working on it. It takes time to become perfection. Alright, so we're going to put that in there, and we're going to tell it to spawn exact copy yes. And we are also going to be installing some redstone control to this as well, just like we wired up the other stuff. And let's see, once we do that, then we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and put, let's see, move that and that. Bring this down here. We're going to take the redstone receiver and put it, corporeal attractors right there. So we should be able to put this right here. And then we should be able to put a wire out from it to right here. We're going to go ahead and set this to whatever, plus 100. Sure, why not? And then here on the wall, I could probably have just put a switch right there, but yeah, we're not going to do that. And then on the wall right here, we are going to put the other one, and we're going to set it to plus 100, and put a piece of redstone there, so that now we can hook this up, and that turns on, as you see the little blue particle effects, the corporeal attractor. And we can turn it back off. I don't know why anyone would ever want to turn it off. I could probably just leave it on by default, but I'm having switches for everything, so by God, this thing gets a switch. Alright, so then we need, I knew I forgot something. I forgot to bring some normal everyday clear glass, but that's okay. We can use some of the dark glass we have extra. I had to say it. There is no extra dark glass, but that's okay. We'll get into that as well later. Yeah, this episode is just going to run a little bit on the long side because I'm not going to let this overrun into yet another episode. So it will just have to wait. We're going to need some fluid ducts. We're going to need the transvector interface and the linker. And we've got some more power ducts here. I hope I'm not 20 blocks away from the nearest form of power. No, there's no way I'm that far away. All right, good. So we can go ahead and put this here. And then we will go ahead and link it with impulse item ducts. Did you know you could do that? All right, so those are now linked together. And now we should be able to bring some fluid over. Item ducts, fluid ducts. let's see, we should be able to hook in right here and bring over some mob essence. Cool, now it's got mob essence, and that should be good to go there, except for, I think it's now running. It's not running. Oh, because I don't have power to it, thank God. For a second there, I thought I was in trouble. Wait a minute, it showed power a second ago. That's odd. I don't know why it would do that. Oh, whatever. Moving on. Whatever the reasoning may be, I don't care at the moment. So let's go ahead and bring some power over here to it. I hope I didn't just use the one extra item I would have needed. It would make sense that I would, though. Okay, no, I got plenty. Alright, so I don't want that one there. Come here. Or that one there. Get back here! And no, I'm not going to jump after it because I'm not that crazy. Alright, so let's test this thing for the theory of it. We should be able to have it function now. Whoop. Hey now. Oh, I turned the switch off. Cool, that works rather well. Ooh, except for there are spawning outside the designated area. Okay, I'll have to fix that just a little bit. Get out of here. Oh, you can't get out of here because of that. That's okay. Alright, well, we have this functioning in the theory side anyway. Let's take this out so they can stop spawning and die. Thank you. Alright, this may have to be changed just a little bit, but that's okay. We've got the power, we've got the fluid, now we need the item ducts that are going to be coming from the back of this. Let me go grab some clear glass because I can't make this work in my head. You know what, hang on, we'll just be back in another second, and I hate to do this again, but I have to move this over, and you guys don't want to see me move this whole thing over by one chunk, so give me just 1 second. Okay, that took care of that. Now my OCD has been quelled for the moment. So now the only thing we have left to do is to do just a little bit of side work here. We're going to pull this, we're going to put this, we're going to put the a vacuum hopper here to take all the drops, and then we're going to go out around here and we're going to put a item duct here, and that's going to pull the drops out from there. We're going to go ahead and pipe them over this way and make sure they go around that other stuff so it doesn't become a problem. And we should be able to hook it in right to that. Alright, so now we should be able to wrench that. I don't think I'm going to need a servo for that section of this, but let's go ahead and set the vacuum hopper to output to the bottom. And that should take care of that. So now, let's do a real quick test on this and see how it's going to... No, you know what? We're not going to test it. We're not going to. I don't have to test it. I know it's going to work. He said with way too much confidence. Alright, so what we need to do now... Actually, well, there it goes. Oh, what do you know? I guess I do need a servo. Good thing I brought some. Alright, so we should be able to put that there, and then tell it to take anything. Good, so that's going to put that in with the rest of the stuff to be sorted. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to install this energetic infuser. The energetic infuser automatically refills the items that we have made, basically the swords. So we're going to, first, we're going to wrench this because we don't want it attaching there. And then from, ooh, that might be an issue. We might have to do this a different way. This pipe is too close at hand. Yep, we'll have to move that. Can't do that way. If that's okay, it shouldn't be a problem. And I keep throwing these into the void. Thank God I've got, whoa, no. I'll throw them into the void as long as it doesn't throw me into the void. Throw me into the void is a bad thing. Alright, so now we should be able to, there we go, hook that in there, and... No, get rid of that because reasons. There. Okay, good. So now that's hooked in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that we can cycle blades in and out of the autonomous activator. Okay, so we're going to take the block out from under the autonomous activator, and we're going to hook in a line that's going to go over to here. Then from the autonomous activator, we're going to hook this over, not the autonomous activator, from the energetic infuser. We're going to bring this over here, and this is going to come up over to the top here. Okay, so we are going to have this work this way. Okay, now stick with me here for just a second. I've got this figured. I just got to take that out, and there we go. So now we have coming out the top here and going into the bottom here. So we need to go in here and put the bottom of this as an input, and we're going to put the top as an output. Okay, so the top is going to be an output, and with the output we're going to give it a servo so that we can control it. Now in this servo we are going to whitelist the 0RF controller. Okay, and we're going to tell it to use metadata, and you know what, we're going to tell it to use NBT because I don't remember specifically whether or not the RF is considered NBT or metadata. So it should pull out a full or an empty RF saber, and then we should hopefully, when this comes through here, this is going to fill it. And then once this is full, we're going to have to set this to have an input on the right and an output at the top. So that should, when this gets done filling, which it just did, get put out over to here. Excellent. And you notice that it is not being pulled out. So now that is full, and we have basically a completely automated system. So let's go ahead and throw this in here. That will let these go ahead and be spawning. We'll close this off real quick, and let's see how this sucker runs. Oh wait, I need to flip this on. There we go. Alright, so now we have automated wither skulls. And we should, in theory at least, get 100% with the beheading 5 on it. We should always have a wither skeleton skull being popped through. Now let's go ahead and put the other blade in here. It will go ahead and get charged up, and it will go into the output, and it will try, hopefully, let's see what happens here. When this gets emptied, it should go into the output, and it's not going to go anywhere because it doesn't have a place to go. It doesn't have an open inventory. So it's going to sit here and wait, and when this autonomous activator runs through all of the head rollers RF, when it gets empty, it will pull that out, put it over here to be charged, and while it's charging, the other one will pop up in its place and do its thing. So the only other thing we need to do now to finish this build and make the mob spawner complete is first off to have this function. Turn the lights out. Turn on the cursed earth. And yeehaw. So now that part works. Alright, and let's turn off the cursed earth just because. And let's say we want some gas tiers. We want some gas tiers, and you know what? We want some mana beans. So we're going to throw those in. We're going to tell those to spawn. So while they're doing their thing, come on, show me I'm not crazy. Boom, a ghast and a peck. So sweet, the pecks will drop mana beans, the ghasts will drop gas tiers, and we are good to go. It should be spawning more than that, though. That's kind of funny. That's still fine. It's probably because these guys are spawning so fast over here. But that's fine. Ooh, I can gather experience from this too. I should set up for the... ooh, how would I do that? Let's figure that out. How did you get out here? Are you out here, or is it just... No, you really are out here. How'd you get out here? Hey, buddy. Get lost. You're not supposed to be out here. It's probably because it's trying to spawn outside of the area and it has a ledge that it sees it can use. So we'll go ahead and fill this in. So in theory, he doesn't have a ledge to spawn in. So now that should be working. We need to add one last little thing to make the final touch to this, and we'll do that really quick right now because this is actually so simple it's not even funny. We will put a redstone receiver with a piece of wire. We're going to name this plus 200 just because. And then over here on this wall, and I'll come back later and label these just because, we're going to put a... I was about to say, what do I do with the levers? We'll put a lever here. And on the outside of this, we will put a piece of that and one of these, and we will label this plus 200 as well. So now, when we flip this switch, it lights up that, which now we should have... Yep, this is now turned off. What exploded? Why did something explode? I don't know. Let's turn the lights on for a second. The lights, thankfully, don't affect the auto spawners, although they probably... Well, actually, they will, because they won't have the gas, won't have enough room to spawn. But, yeah, there we go. The only other thing I need to do... Now, there's one thing I did notice, and I'll run over this real quick just to make it simple. When you spawn wisps in here, because I want ethereal essences, the spawners are allowing the wisps to spawn underneath here because there's room. So I will come back with the builder's wand, see it spawned underneath. I'm going to come back with the builder's wand, and since all this is complete and ready to roll, I will go ahead and fill all this in with bricks underneath so that nothing will be able to spawn underneath, and that will make it a lot simpler. So that's it. We are done. We now can make anything we want spawn. We can kill anything. We have a... Oops, nope. I need to flip these down, not those up. The Cursed Earth can do its thing, and that's it. We can now control pretty much everything with that. I'll hook in a way to gather this experience because we can't have experience going to waste. And other than that, we are pretty much good. I'll install a roof over this just because. And that's it. The Ultimate Mob Spawner is complete. So until next time, this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 90. And shoot, man, tell me you like what I did. I think this worked out pretty well. Help spread the gaming.